Welcome to the Make More Money as a Dietitian podcast, where we talk about all things money, mindset, and marketing so your nutrition business can thrive and you can make a bigger impact in the marketplace. I am your host, Christine Diane, registered dietitian and money mindset expert. Let's get started with today's episode. Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Make More Money as a Dietitian. I'm your host, Christine Diane Thompson, and as usual, I'm super excited to be here today with you for a little bit more of good stuff. I consider it good stuff. I hope you do too. And if you do consider this to be good stuff, please share this with all your dietitian friends. We need to get more people listening to this podcast. The more people who listen to this podcast and get to hear from a mindset coach that is in the industry, the better, right? So there's plenty of mindset coaches that are out there talking all the things, right? But when you are listening to one of your own, someone who has been where you are currently and has made it through, so to speak, it's even more inspiring, right? I think there's value in having coaches in your life, mentors in your life from various industries, because that gives you a variety of experiences to glean from. But it is especially inspiring, in my opinion, to have someone speaking to you from the perspective of the very special nuances in our profession. Not necessarily just in our industry, because, there are more than dietitians in the nutrition and wellness space, but in our profession specifically. I'm really proud to be the one who is leading the way, I feel, in mindset work specifically for dietitians. Now, there are other dietitian business coaches out there that teach a little bit of mindset, and that's good and dandy because we all need to have that. We need that mindset stuff, seriously. However, I know that the way that I go about it is that I lead with mindset first and the marketing follows. So if you are enjoying the content in this podcast, on this podcast, however you say it, please share. And also, please rate and review. Like, the more ratings and reviews that we get on this podcast, the higher it gets placed in the rankings. And like I said, we need more dietitians listening to this podcast because, I really, really believe wholeheartedly that mindset is what prevents a lot of us from reaching the goals that we want in our not just in our businesses, but in our career. And so that's also what I want to talk to you about today, believe it or not. I want to talk to you about the Business Foundations for newbies from a mindset perspective. And I mean, it's somewhat from a mindset perspective, but these foundations are the things that I find most business coaches are not talking about. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about what I feel are the business foundations for new business owners. And I'll put a little mindset spin in it as well. So before I dive right on into the content, I want to say that the business foundations that we are most used to are things like, creating your business creating your business entity, or deciding on which one it should be, whether it's an LLC or an S Corp, or should I just start out as a sole proprietor, things like that, like putting in place your oh my gosh, why are my thoughts eluding me? Putting in place your payment processing system and which one should you use and what electronic health record platform should you use and all these different things. Like, those are not the things I'm talking about. That's what everybody is talking about. Those are the things that you definitely need to have and you need to consider when you're starting out. However, the things that I'm going to share with you today are the things that most people aren't talking about. But when you actually do the work and put these foundations in place, it really shifts your mindset into becoming a stronger leader. I'm all about leadership, you guys. We are professionals. Gosh, so many of us have advanced degrees and we really aren't like standing strong in that leadership. But when you put these particular pieces of your business in place from the start, like really put it in place at the start, you step into your leadership, you get out there and you take action as a leader, as someone who really knows his or her stuff and is really just out here to help. And that, in my opinion, is what really sets you apart from the rest. So the first thing that I want you to consider as the business foundation for your new practice, and even let me preface this, even if your practice isn't new, you need to jump on these things. Like if you haven't done these things yet, get on it. Okay. So the first thing is creating your vision, mission, and core value statements. Okay. So you need to have a vision. You need to have a mission and you need to have a set of core values. Okay. And this is why. So your vision is the future of your business. The vision is the thing that you are really seeing as the outlook of what your business will be doing for your population in the future. You need to have a vision in order to go towards that thing, in order to take action towards what you want. If you don't have vision, you are just aimlessly wandering out here like, what the heck? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who I'm working with and all these things. Like, you have to have a vision and you have to take the time to plan it out. You really need to do this. This goes beyond your target market and your ideal client and your niche. It is all encompassing of those things. When you know what the vision is that you have for your business, then you can actually build out that target market, that niche, and that ideal client. But when you're just pulling those things kind of out of the hat, or you're just working on them, one piece at a time and not really pulling it all together as one cohesive thing, you feel a little scattered, right? So first and foremost, you want to have a vision. And then you want to have the mission. So the mission is the thing that you are going to be working on to get you towards that ultimate vision. It is the action. It is the thing that you're doing that's taking you into the future. What are you doing in your business and how are you doing it? Right? So the mission and the vision, and then your core values. Now this one, you guys, is super important. Core values. Your core values really are going to help you to align yourself with the perfect ideal clients, because you want to be working with someone who has the same core values as you or very similar core values. It's almost as if you can remember getting interviewed for a job and you found out what their core values are, or they shared them with you. And you look at them and you're like, I don't believe in this. Like, this is not like in alignment with who I am. You're more than likely not going to work very well within their company. And you probably, maybe even yourself, would decline the job offer because your core values and the company's core values don't jive. And it's the same thing with your business. What are your core values? What are the things, those personal characteristics even, that you know that anytime in your business operations, you're working from those core values? So I hope you can see like how this is really truly a foundation. Your vision, your mission, and your core values are truly the starting point. Now, we're not talking about the business entity, as I mentioned before, and all of those other little practical pieces that you need to have in place for sure. However, can you see how having a vision and a mission and core values is truly parts of the foundation as well? And can you see how a lot of nutrition businesses are lacking those things? And you may say, well, I kind of know what it is in my head. I know what my vision is. And, I operate from my core values every day. I know what they are, but writing them down, having them somewhere where you can see them on a regular basis will fuel how you take action. So I want to invite you to make sure that you, if you haven't done this already, that you create your vision and your mission statements and develop your core values. I have 7 core values in my business. The number 7 for me is the number of completion, and that is my number. Most things that I create in my business are based off of the number 7. And core values is one of them. I have 7 core values that I operate from every single day. And everything that I create is based on those things. Okay, so the second foundation that I find kind of lacking for nutrition businesses, especially if you're new and you're just starting out, is how to set your rates. Well, if you didn't think I was going to say this, then you don't know who I am. So setting rates in your business. Most people do it in a very simplistic way. This doesn't just only relate to dietitian business owners, but most new business owners do it the very simplistic way. I won't get into the calculations here because that's not what we're here for. But in order to set your rates like a true business owner, you need to take into consideration how you want to live your life. You want to take into consideration some of the practical mathematics of operating a business as well. So when I say take into consideration how you want to live your life, I'm talking about how many sick days you want to have, how many vacation days you want to have, how many of the national holidays you want to take off. Hello? And if you consider your birthday a national holiday, put that in there too. Okay, so think about that. Like, entrepreneurship should not confine you to working every single day of the year. Like, you get into business for yourself once again so that you can have freedom and flexibility in your time and in your life. So when you're setting your rates, you want to make sure that you're calculating in your days off. You also want to make sure you're calculating billable hours versus non-billable hours. Okay. And you also need to make sure that you have a realistic profit margin that you are incorporating in that. You also want to make sure that you're incorporating all of your business expenses. And did you know that your salary is considered a business expense? Probably not, but I'm here to educate. Okay. So look, setting your rates is the foundation. You shouldn't go into business if you don't know how much you're charging. First and foremost, you You don't get into it and, have all the little practical things set up and then get in a Facebook group and say, oh, what should I charge? Nope. You want to have all of that figured out ahead of time. Remember when I talk about planning ahead for all of the things, my friend, you got to do it. It's the most freeing thing that you could ever do for yourself in your business and in your life. It really reduces overwhelm. It reduces the amount of decisions that you have to make on a regular basis. It is just the most freeing thing ever. So just think about, what would it feel like if you were to plan ahead when it comes to setting your rates? I want you to get into it. I want you to think about how you're going to set your rates. And I want you to do it in a very methodical way. Okay. And if you need a resource for that, come on and join me in my private Facebook group, Money Mindset Mastery for RD Entrepreneurs. You should be able to find a link in my Instagram profile. If you're not following me on Instagram, then head on over there, money.mindset.dietitian. Why are you not following me if you're not following me? Tell me all about it. I need to know. Come on. So I have the resources for you in regards to setting your rates in my private Facebook group. So come on over. In the meantime, let's talk about the next thing that I consider as a business foundation, which is creating a schedule. I did not know how many dietitians struggle with time management until recently. And I don't know why I didn't know this, because I know I used to be the same way. Like when I first started my business, I struggled so badly with managing my time because I did not know what to do with all the time that I had, since I was used to being an employee. But then I jumped into full-time business ownership and I had all this time on my hands and I was like, what am I supposed to do with all this time? I had no idea what I was doing. And it took me a long time. It really did. It took me a long time to really get my schedule on lock, so to speak. So if you are struggling with this is definitely a foundation that you want to get really secured before you get yourself out there, because if you don't, you're going to flounder. Once again, I have another resource for you. Look at me throwing out all the resources for you this week. I have another resource on time management. I'm doing a masterclass. Or did I do it already? I don't know. I'm kidding. I have another resource for you on time management. So just come on over and join me in the Facebook group. Okay. We do lots of things in there. Like I have monthly master classes going on. The majority of them are free. If it is a paid one, it's very affordable. So come on, join me. All right. And you can find that link in my Instagram profile once again. But I just want you to know that creating a schedule for yourself as a business owner is definitely a foundation for the new business owner. And you're going to be tweaking that as you grow in entrepreneurship as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you have this foundation set in the beginning. Okay. Once again, this is something that a lot of business coaches are not talking about in regards to business foundations. Okay. Creating a schedule. And I talk about it from a mindset perspective. And I also help you with managing your life within the time frame you have. Because the truth of the matter is, you guys, we don't manage time. We don't manage time, you guys. Time is just hanging. Time is just here. So really, when you think about it, we manage our lives within the time that we have. Because time is just here. We're not grabbing onto time and doing all the things to it and molding it and curating. We're not managing time, you guys. We're managing ourselves. Okay. So the question is, how do you manage yourself within the time that you have? Do you do good? Because I know for a long time I did horribly. And I wanted to share with you how you can do so much better than I did in the beginning. So come on over, join me for that free resource in our Money Mindset Mastery for RD Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Okay. All right. And this final component that you can really get solid, or you should get solid before you get out there and really start marketing yourself, is the obvious. Now, this one I will say most business coaches talk about, which is defining your target market and your ideal client. However, this is the thing. There are a lot of people that don't really know the difference between a target market and an ideal client. A lot of people I find think that that's the same thing, and it really isn't. Like, your target market is the group of people, right? It is that group of people that you want to serve. Your ideal client is that one person within the group. That is that one client that you know would be the perfect person to work with within that group of folks, right? So you want to get that really well defined so that your marketing is on point, so that when you start talking and speaking your message out there in the marketplace, your people know that you're talking to them. So your target market and your ideal client, they help you to refine your messaging. And then marketing becomes a heck of a lot easier. All right, you guys, look, this is good stuff, right? Like your vision, your mission, your core values, knowing how to really, truly set your rates and creating a schedule for yourself, so that you're not floundering all over the place. And then defining that target market and that one ideal client so that your messaging is on point. These are the elements. These are the business foundations that I feel are really, really important and necessary for new entrepreneurs. And even if you're not new, you need to have this on point. If it's not, okay, if these elements are not really on point, maybe like you are shifting a little bit in your business and you really need to redefine your target market and your ideal client, or you need to really set new rates, okay, and create a new schedule for yourself. These elements will always be evolving in your business. But for those of you who are new, I want you to grasp onto these, because these are the things that are going to set you up for success in the beginning. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you today, and I hope it was helpful. Have a great weekend ahead, and I look forward to sharing more wisdom with you on the next episode of Make More Money as a Dietitian. Bye. Hey, if you want to learn more about how you can make more money as a dietitian, I want to invite you to check out my program, Charge What You're Worth. Now, to learn more about this program and how it can help you to become a top earner as a dietitian in business, just head on over to moneymindsetdietitian.com/work with me. Again, that's moneymindsetdietitian.com/work with me, where you can learn more about the Charge What You're Worth program and how it can help you.